Welcome to Layers of Communication with your host, Lydia Taggart. Life presents experiences that add a layer to who we are and how we see the world, affecting how we communicate. Lydia is here to help you take apart the layers and create new ways to connect and build relationships. So now, please welcome the host of Layers of Communication, Lydia Taggart.
Welcome to Layers of Communication. I'm your host, Lydia Taggart, and I'm so excited for you to be here today. I have had the best conversation this week with someone that I know. I met a new friend. I've known him for a little while, but he didn't know what I did as my business. We were just friends. And so the topic came up that I'm a life coach. And he says, well, what is a life coach? I was just talking with my coworker the other day about how we need a coach for our life. And what do you do? And so I thought I would share that with all of you because it's really, really amazing. And we all feel that, don't we? We all feel like there's something more that we could do if we had somebody telling us, run 5 miles down this road and then turn left or whatever. If we had a little more instructions, a little more clarity. Well, I'll tell you, a life coach, my job as a life coach and all life coaches, if they don't help you do this, then you need to get a different life coach. There's a lot of different views on what a coach does, but what we do, if you think about football or baseball or any of these other kinds of coaches, they see the big picture of the whole game. They know all the different components, and they know to tell you, don't run, don't steal second. Wait. And as a player in the game of life, if we can step back and see the whole forest instead of like, oh, there's this tree in front of my face and I don't know how to get around this tree. Do I climb it? Do I go around it this way or that way? And if we can have somebody go, oh, yeah, if you step to the left, you're going to fall into a hole. Go to the right. Or don't steal second. You want to wait. Don't try to make it all the way home for that home run. They've already caught it and they're going to get you. So stay on base, right? That's what a life coach does. They help you see the bigger picture and know something a little bit of a broader view. And that's really, don't get hard on ourselves. We need to not get hard on ourselves when we need some help. Or if we ask for an outside point of view, we need to value it because we get emotionally entrapped in these things like, oh, I'm so emotionally involved with this tree, right? This tree that's standing in front of me. And so I wanted to walk you through one of my first kind of basically as if you were my client, and I would take you through the first visit that we would have, because that's the most important thing, is to know where we're going, right? And if there's a tree there, how to dodge around and which way is the best way to go. Most effective way to build relationships. And I told my friend, I specialize in communicating in relationships because that's what it all comes down to. That's what it all comes down to. The most important thing, if everything else was gone, we have our relationships. And that's really the most important part. So if we have a goal, and I know we've all done this before. We've all done this, and you're probably doing some of it at some point, somewhere in your life, in some area in your life right now. You're probably experiencing this like I am, where you feel like you're doing it, and you're working, and nothing changes, and you're just going over the same thing over and over and over again in that insanity cycle where you're doing the same thing and nothing's changing. But what else can you do? Because you're doing all the right things. Let's take dieting, for example. You're exercising, you're doing all these things. You're eating, you're counting your calories, you're counting your time, how many steps you take. You're doing all this work and nothing's changing. You've hit a plateau. And this is the same for any kind of goal. It's a pattern. It's a cycle that we go through. If we have a relationship and we're like, oh, I'm trying everything that I can figure out, and I don't know what to do to reach this person. I just can't break through this wall, right? So let's get to it. What are we going to do? First, we need to choose which goal, which area of life we're going to work on. We're going to think, okay, is there something that comes up immediately for you? Or is there something like, for me, I'm like, oh, there's this and this and this and this and this. I got to work on all these things, right? So many things to work on. Or you might have one pressing need that comes up right away. If something comes up right away, go ahead, go with that. Don't second guess yourself. You're pretty smart. Go ahead and choose that first thing that comes to your mind. If everything kind of comes at you at once, like it does for me, here's how we choose and decide which thing, okay? We're going to write down, and I'm going to write it as we go. I'm going to write down, we've got a relationship with the son that has been trying me. It's really trying me. And this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to take some pauses for us to think and actually go through these steps today, okay? So a relationship with my son, there's my health, and of course under health, there's all the different components to health. That's eating and sleeping and da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da, right? And there's organizing my home, and organizing is a big word for me lately. Organizing my schedule. And of course, you know, if you've been around at all, you know that it's really important for me to schedule my time and my schedule, know who's going where, when, and I'm kind of, micromanage about the schedule a little bit. I kind of do. All right, so I've got my things written down here. Organizing my schedule, my relationship with my son, my health, and organizing my home. And what I'm going to do is think about the hierarchy of needs. And the hierarchy of needs says the base level supports the other levels. So at the base level, we've got our food, shelter, our very basic needs, water. The next level up is security. If you have those things, then you're able to feel a lot more secure, right? And within the security is order and structure. And then above that, it goes to belonging and relationships and things. So since I know that relationships with my son is a higher level, I'm not going to choose that one. I'm going to go down a step or two and say these other things will support me in that goal. Does that make sense? All right, good. So we want to step down and go, what is it that is the lowest base need on that scale that I want to work on? And it helps if we straighten up. We're sitting in our chair, kind of like you're getting ready to type with feet flat on the floor. Your posture's up and you go, take a cleansing breath so you can clear your head a little bit and really tap into what the best answer is for you. Okay, so we're going to, and the question we ask is, and sometimes it helps to close your eyes. I'm not going to close my eyes because then, you'll be looking at me with my eyes closed. Sometimes it helps to close our eyes so we can really tap in and not be distracted, especially if you're a visual learner and there's anything at all going on around you. It will be easier to listen to that voice inside if you just close your eyes. And it's okay. And all right, sit up straight and tall as much as you can. Okay, so which goal? Okay, I will close my eyes. Obviously, I usually do close my eyes when I do this. So which goal is the most important one for me to work on today? And the thing that I'm hearing is my health. So I'm going to circle that one. All right, I'll show you here. You can't even see it. All right, maybe you can. Circled it. Wrote down the things to choose from and circle the one that it is. I'm going to work on my health. If I have more health then I'll be able to have a better relationship with my son. I'll be able to clean and organize my home better if I have a healthier body. And of course, that will reflect on organizing my schedule. They all kind of go together, and that's why they jump out all at the same time. So don't be frustrated with that at all. I'm going to share my screen here and see if I can do a whiteboard thing with you. Okay, we're going to jump in here on the whiteboard. So if we have a person, okay, here we are. This is the thing that we love to know. Let's see if I can, oh, come on, draw a leg. There we go. So here's our person. That's us. Here we have our personal space, and we're going to pretend that I drew that right. All right. Now, if we have a goal that's just out of reach, what we want to do, so we have all these goals, they're kind of out of reach, whatever. They're all around us. We have things that we have achieved. We don't want to forget those are in our space. We've got those and collected them already. And there's one right there that's almost going to get accomplished. Sometimes we're looking the other direction and we don't realize that we're so close to reaching that goal. So what we want to do is choose one of them. And you can choose the one that's closest and easiest and go, yeah, I got it. And we can just celebrate that and get that accomplishment energy moving forward. It's really important to recognize these things that have been accomplished already. Or we could choose the one that's way out here. Every time that we improve enough, we expand our personal space around us. That's a circle, in case you couldn't tell. If you're working for this goal that's way out here, you're going to have to expand your energy and your resources way, way out there in order to reach it. And when you do that, guess what happens? Whoops, lost my marker there. There we go. Guess what happens when you go for this one that's way out here? You get all the other ones along the way too. But thinking about that hierarchy of needs, all these other ones support achieving the goal way out there. I hope that makes sense. I'm sure it does. If it doesn't make sense, go ahead and let me know. Ask me questions and I'll help you walk through it. So for me, I am going to choose the one that's way, way, way out there. And I have the first thing we do, okay, my big, huge, huge goal, super huge goal. It's way out there. 90 million people plus. More than 90 million people and their families. And I post this. I know it's backwards, but that's okay. I post it where I see it. I've got one in my office. I've got one over there on that wall. I've got one in the hallway. I've got one on my bathroom mirror. I've got one down in the kitchen. I've got one on the back of the door. When I leave the house, I see it, reminding me this is the big, huge goal that we're working on. And it's just there. Don't worry about it. We're just reminded that's what we're working on. And we focus on something a little bit closer that's on the way to it. Okay, so my health will support reaching 90 million plus people and their families and having an influence for good in their lives. It's a little more specific than just reaching people and talking to people. I want to have an influence for good in over 90 million people and their families. Okay, so we have decided which goal we're going to do. I'm going to choose the hardest one, but work on the easier ones so I can have that accomplishment energy and move forward really fast and make it so easy. Now, it's important to write it down and post it, and then just let it work into your subconscious. Our subconscious is really powerful. It's where most of our stuff is taken care of. Our breathing, our heart, all these things get taken care of in our subconscious. It's not a scary place to be. It's there to support and love us. It's part of who we are, as there to protect us. So we put that good stuff in the subconscious and we love it. And then we're going to go through the 7 layers. When somebody is working for a goal, the most common thing we do is say, okay, I want to do that. What should I do? If I want to lose 10 pounds, I should eat more salads. I should run a mile every day. I should. All these shoulds. Who's deciding? When we have a should, it puts pressure on us. And let's see if we have this whiteboard back up again. The shoulds put pressure on puts pressure on us. These are shoulds. And it keeps us from doing something that we want to. It contains our energy instead of letting it expand and improve the way we want to. And of course, eating a salad probably would be really good for me if I want to improve my health. But am I choosing it because it's something I want to do? Or am I choosing it because it's something that someone, somewhere, something, somehow has decided to put pressure on me that I should something? So what do we do instead? We go this way, right? We want our energy to go out and expand from us. How do we do that? Instead, and we want to erase, if we can, we want to erase all the shoulds. This is some NLP can be done here, and it's not difficult. We just decide and choose, recognize what shoulds are there, and then we can change those shoulds in our subconscious to be I want, I choose, and I love it. I choose to because I want to and I love to. I love salads, not I should eat a salad. We say that. That's a completely different direction of energy to go. So let's see if we can erase this. Whoa. If I say, oh, somebody told me that I should eat salad. Somebody told me that I should run a mile. Somebody told me that I should track and count my calories. Somebody told me I should exercise more often. They might be true things. These are things that can help us. But I'm going to choose, I want to eat a salad. I love salads. And that will expand it and get us there so much faster. All right, let's just erase all of this. Let's clear all drawings. There we go. And we're going to do 7 layers of depth, 7 layers deep to find the base need to work on. Okay, so first I'm going to go down and write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on my paper. Because when we get into this, we go, oh, I should do that. I want to change that should to I want to. And then that's all we do. We just eat a salad. But what else is it? The first thing we want to ask is, why is this not a reality already? Why is this not a reality already? Well, because I don't eat salad. I don't eat salads. Or other vegetables either. I really just don't. I tend to eat more starchy breads and French fries, oh yeah, French fries. French fries are my real comfort addiction kind of food. French fries. Well, I should put there on there too. I should. I will, because I love to recognize what our weaknesses are. I eat too many French fries instead. All right, there we go. The next question is, why do I not eat vegetables and salad? Why do I eat French fries instead? Is that really something that I want to do? So then the answer might be something like, let's see, this one for me, why do I eat French fries instead of salad? It's easier. And it takes less time to eat fries than a salad. And I forgot to type in here, why do I eat fries instead? And I don't know if you get this or not. Some people get it the way I do, or some people, you just get one answer and that's fine. You don't have to have more than one answer. Sometimes it makes it easier to get just one answer. For me, I get like a flood of all these answers. There's so many reasons why it's more important to eat fries. There's so many reasons to not eat a salad. And one of the other reasons is that fresh food gets forgotten in my fridge. It just gets forgotten. Okay, so then you're going to pick something of this. And this is where a life coach would come in handy, help you decide which one is the one to ask about. I'm going to go with, why does my fresh food get forgotten? Why does fresh food get forgotten in my fridge? Because I'm too busy and I don't pay attention. That says attention to food. Food is not important enough to take the time for. See, that's kind of a way deeper thing. Right there, you've only gone 3 levels deep, and we've already gone so much more in depth than, oh, I should eat a salad. Why don't I eat a salad? And then that puts guilt on us. Oh, I'm not doing what I should. And that just really crumples us down. It's not the best thing for us at all. And I apologize for the sound on my phone here. Okay, we're going to expand this up here. Let's do that over here too. All right. Why isn't food important? Why do I believe food is not important? That is a wonderful question, don't you think? It doesn't really make any sense at all. Food, logically, we know we need food. Why do I believe that food's not important? Sometimes you got to think for a second before something will come. Sometimes it just floods in as a real answer right away. Sometimes it's something that we just really want to avoid. And this is one of the reasons why we're having a hard time getting through that wall, because when we get down to these deeper levels, we're trying to avoid these things. They're deeper in our subconscious, and we put them there on purpose, right? Okay, so why do I believe food is not important? Okay, and sometimes you just gotta laugh about it. Because I won't eat it when I'm dead. And that's why money is not important either. My spirit is better off without it. Okay, so sometimes you got to be kind of tricky with the questions you ask. My spirit's better off without it. But you know what? You happen to be human and alive and in a body. So that's what I'm going to ask. What about the body? Doesn't your body deserve good food? Support it. And here is where we have the disconnect. That with our health, with my health, personally, a lot of times we just don't really appreciate and love the body. We have so much more. People who I heard this story of I'm going to share my face with you for a minute. I heard this really great story about someone, I believe he was in Canada, and you get so old, and this happens in the United States, when you get so old, you qualify for benefits. And so for whatever reason, this guy in Canada is suing the government there because he self-identifies as 20 years younger than what his physical age on his birth certificate says. And that doesn't even make sense. They want to give you benefits for being older. At least that's the way I understand it. That in the United States, when you are old enough, you qualify for certain benefits from the government to help take care of your needs. And so he's suing them because he doesn't want to be noticed as being 20 years older than what he feels. And so, we feel different when we're inside our bodies. We a lot of times we feel older than we really are, but this particular man feels a lot younger than what his body technically is. So here we have this disconnect of, like, I'm not really at one with my body. Okay, so let's go back to this list again. Doesn't my body deserve it? Oh, give me a new box. Isn't that fun? Okay. Does my body deserve good food to support it? Well, of course it does. Yes, of course. But, and there's almost always a but, because you can't just agree with yourself, right? Really? Why? Let's go down to the next question. The next question for number 6 question is going to be, why don't I believe I could give it? Good food then. Why don't I believe in giving it good food then? What's keeping me from doing that, right? Keeping me from giving my body good food. It takes too much time and effort. I'm not paying attention. That's the answer. I'm not really paying attention, not so much to the food, but I'm not paying attention to my body's needs. And why am I not paying enough attention to my body's needs? And that is 7 layers deep. So it's not so much going down this path of I should eat a salad. I want to eat a salad. I choose to eat a salad because I need it and I want it and I love it. I love my body and I want to give my body what it needs, right? So why am I not paying attention to my body's needs though? This is the closest, deepest core need for these 7 layers of my health today. And then you take your final answer here, right? I should come up with a real good answer for why am I not paying attention to my body's needs? It's scary. I might not be good at it. So this goes back to perfectionism. If it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be something I'm really good at right away. And of course, I'm not going to be good at it or it wouldn't be a goal. I'd already have it if I hadn't been trying to be a perfectionist about it. And when we're when we really are in perfectionism, then we don't want to try if we know we're going to fail. Why put our energy and effort into something that's going to be not perfect? Okay, so for me and my health, and I hope you've been walking through these kinds of questions on your own. This is just an example. Choose your goal, choose what you really want, see where it lies on the hierarchy of needs, what could be under that layer to support it. And my supportive layer is to work on my perfectionism in order to release my weight and be more healthy and love salads more. Salads and I have a history. We have a history. And I can see it, that perfectionism creeps up. And this is interesting too, when you actually do the questions instead of thinking them out, if you actually write them out instead of just having them in your head, it guides your subconscious a little bit better. You're able to focus a little more. When I first thought this was going to be what I was working on today, I thought it was going to be about time and scheduling, but it's not. It's about perfectionism. And that relates to time and whatnot. There's layers, right? And this is how we work on ourselves. And why do we want to work on ourselves? Why do we want to have a life coach when we're talking about layers of communication and relationships with others? One thing is common in all of your relationships. Every single relationship that you have has this one thing in common. Guess what that is? It's you. It's ourselves. We are the common denominator in every relationship that we come into. So if we have a pattern that we keep having such and such kind of relationship come up in all these different areas, we always have this kind of person come up to us and we feel stuck in what we're doing, right? It's because we are the common denominator. It's not their fault. We don't want to do that blame game. It's us. But we can work on ourselves and we can change the world around us and how we relate and interact with everything around us. We can't change other people. We get to work on us. And that's the beauty of a life coach. And I hope that these 7 layers deep will really, really be powerful for you. If you do it, don't be afraid to actually go there and think about what the real answer is. I might suggest, I do suggest having a private moment alone where if something's coming up, you can cry about it. Okay. Now, our health, that's an easy one. You don't really get too emotional. I mean, I kind of feel emotional about French fries. They are my comfort food. There's a lot of other memories mixed in with the way we eat and our habits, and it affects a lot of things. We've got the holidays coming up. If you think about it, why is food such a thing? We have to have it to live, to survive. It has been incorporated in almost every holiday everywhere. If you feed them, they will come. There's treats at every activity. If you expect someone to show up, you're going to reward them for coming. You're going to bribe them. Food is bribery. Food is a reward. Food is comfort. Food is family. Food is so many things. And it's a big deal. It's a pretty big layer of how we see the world. It affects a lot of our relationships. I know there's been times where we've had get-togethers, and you got to eat it just because you don't want the cook to feel bad, or you want to show your appreciation. You want to be polite. All these different things, and it affects our relationships. So health is a huge thing, but my health issues personally are based on my issues that I need to work on. They're based out of perfectionism. That's why I'm having a hard time letting things go. And perfectionism has a lot of layers too, but we'll go there another time. All right, thank you for tuning in to Layers of Communication. I hope this has been really helpful and beneficial for you. If you have a goal, remember to post it so you remember what it is, and then let it sink into your subconscious and choose something that's closer to you, that's easier to get. Get that accomplishment energy going for you. Expand your realm of influence and how many things can be in your space, in your personal space that you can achieve and contain and say, this is mine, this is a part of me. And that's what we really want to go for, is to have our goals become a part of us. Not just to accomplish it and move past it, but to have it become a part of us, so that it's part of our history, it's part of who we are. It's one of our layers, right? Okay, I have gone over time. Thank you for staying with me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time on Layers of Communication. Find me at lydiataggart.com, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, love you, bye.
You've been listening to Layers of Communication with your host, Lydia Taggart. Tune in next week as we discover the layers in order to communicate and connect down to your core on Lydia Taggart's Layers of Communication.